the other significant moment for me, this was still in Oklahoma, but it was definitely one of the most surreal experiences of my life. And I think some of its DNA definitely had an impact on something like Bittertooth, even, where I got a job for a made for TV movie. This would have been in 1993, called In the Line of Duty Ambush in Waco. So
That's a mouthful.
it is a mouthful. It's one of those classic, like, back in the early 90s made for TV movies that were sort of the rip from the headlines thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And where literally I think I actually listened to the commentary on that film later, and apparently they edited that movie in one weekend on a Moviola. So it was just like old school days. But basically, it was a like a dramatization of the David Koresh Waco compound siege by the ATF.
Craig's getting really excited, by the way. He said Moviola and he perked up.
Yeah.
Old enough to remember.
Yeah.
Tim Daly.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what's interesting is that yes. So let me tell you the Tim Daly story then. So
And
basically,
feel free to interact with Craig.
okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
People can slightly hear his voice in the microphones. We need to get him one.
Well, I'm glad that you got that. Yeah. So Tim Daly, Dan Loria. What's funny is that Jerry Ryan was in that, like right before she was on Star Trek. And what's interesting is I was cast as one of the kids that was in the cult, like it was in the compound, and they built an entire reproduction of the compound that they filmed. And mind you, we were making that, they were shooting that while the siege was still happening. So then there was Tim Daly playing David Koresh, and he was so good. Like, he was there giving these fiery speeches and screaming at the top of his lungs and everything. He was so good. And I was also like, I had to have been 9 or something, that like I just started to break down and cry. Like, it was just, oh my God, you're like just emotionally wrecking me and everything. So the director, quite wisely, like gestured to the camera operator, and he's like, go in for a close up. So they like came in for a close up of me just like bawling and everything. And that was great because I got paid more. I was no longer an extra. I was like a featured, right? And basically afterwards, I was still wrecked and everything. And Tim Daly came up to me, and he like got down and he's like shook my hand, and he was basically like, "Man, you're making me look bad. You're doing so great," all that stuff. And I remember like we broke for lunch, and I went out with Dad, and I was like, "Take me home. I can't do this. This is
You're just emotionally
hard,
drained,
man."
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, and Dad said something that I'll never forget, which he was basically like, "Yeah, I can take you home, son. But, you did take this job. And when you take a job, you need to finish it. Do you think you can do that?" And I was like, "Okay, all right, I'll do it." And I'm glad that I did. It was really, really, that was a pivotal moment. And that whole experience was very interesting because they shot a lot of stuff with the kids. They shot a lot of stuff with me, none of it ended up in the film. And the thing, when I was saying like a surreal experience, that really affected me is that I think it was the second day. So we shot for like 2 days, I think. And on the second day that we were filming, we were there in the compound replica, and then everybody just started to hear the chatter, and they're like, "Everybody, come over into the commissary area." So we went in there and we looked up on the TV, and the actual compound was burning. So it was like watching the actual compound burning while standing in a replica of it. That was definitely a moment when I realized, I was like, oh, okay, so film is a very powerful medium.
Yeah.
It can be a very powerful medium for the people who make it, and it can be a very powerful medium for the people that see it.
The people that watch it, yeah.
Yeah. So, so that that also taught me a lot about the power of cults.
Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Momi2 Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Momi2 app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.